Until then, I'm just going to enjoy some coffee and talk to myself, which is pretty much a normal work day for me. Okay. Oh, you can already see me? Oh, cool. Good, good, good. That was pretty painless today. Mm. Coffee, coffee, coffee. All right, let's do it. Hey, everybody. I am Joshua. Today is April. Wow, April 2nd, 2017. And today I'm working on my video game Delver, which you can see the website behind my head there, delvergame.com, if you want to know more about it. What it is at a high level, it's a fantasy dungeon crawler with procedural. It's a procedural dungeon crawler with fantasy first person and roguelike elements thrown in for good mix. Um, yeah. Let me think. What else? Let me look at my cheat sheets. I'm blanking today. So yeah. Um, for those of you who are keen to know, update 14 is pretty darn close. I know our estimate was March, and it's now April. We were planning on initially uh, pushing out the update this past Thursday, but we decided to wait a few days just to make sure that um, the last little bits we wanted to get in were in, and we had a chance to kind of look at each other's work to make sure that things weren't broken. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, usually I do my elevator pitch better. Let me try that again. So Delver is a fantasy procedural dungeon crawler with roguelike RPG and fantasy. Why can't I not do it now, Tony? You put me on the spot and I can't do it. Jeez. Um, yeah, usually I just say it's this with this themes. Like that's always kind of a bad thing, though, right? Because if you're comparing it to something else, I don't know, it's kind of reductive in some ways. Um, yeah, it's usually better to talk about experientially. Like what we're trying to construct is like our favorite things from fantasy, and we're trying to create systems that create these crazy situations where you have to kind of think your way through the problem rather than running in and trying to chop things up. Usually you have tools in your inventory or in the environment that can help you get through obstacles, which is what we're trying to do. And it's not easy to create those systems, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, as Tesla Coil is putting out in chat, we are in early access for $7.99. We are planning releasing our full 1.0 version this year, and the price will jump up to $9.99. So if you want to get that $2 discount, go ahead and buy it now. But if you're not in early access, don't worry about it. I get it. You can wait till we're full 1.0, but you can buy us on Steam. Here's the link for the Steam page. Scroll down. Here's a Humble link. The Humble build is behind the Steam link, or the Steam build, excuse me. Once this, I think once we're 1.0, I think across the board, all of our platforms, we will send out builds. Mazonic says, why I cannot set the stream quality too low on this stream. Did you forget to set that on because my internet cannot take this full HD quality? Yeah, I don't know how that works. I just did the quick setup with OBS. Sorry. Um, I don't know of how to. I thought Twitch on there and handled that. I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a peek at the repo and see what we've done this week. Things I've said. User home. Nope. Oh well, trying to be fancy. Also, bouncing back and forth between Windows and OS X breaks my mind sometimes. We're update. Cool. All right. And we've had a decently busy week. So removing pseudoloc, yeah, so I found a few pseudoloc things in my strings translation table that I removed because we don't want to ship that stuff, which is kind of embarrassing. So I think on the last stream also I fixed some issues that Javier had found. So that is awesome. It will resolve a number of issues. So this was how we were merging in items from mod content. Was kind of broken, so that's straightening that out. There's also an issue with if you equipped armor from slot 1, it would disappear if it was replacing an existing piece of armor. That's fixed. Chad checked in what he calls a drastic speed up for level lighting, which is pretty cool. I guess it's fast, so I haven't really noticed too big of a difference. Sky texture extends to the bottom of the skybox now to blend in the fog color. That's cool. I guess he was just tweaking the skybox texture there. Noodling around on stuff. That's a helpful comment there, Chad. Yeah, here, Tony. I have it in a gist. Let me just copy that over for you. Yeah, so it's just a pretty print of a Git history. I just like looking at just the one line. You have the short hash for just a reference point. The commit message and then the author. Because otherwise, if you do a git log, even to like since equals last week, you still get a lot of information that's not necessarily interesting. So I prefer the there we go. The big one, this long one is in print printing, just to make it a little bit more parsable for folks. Try to show you what's important. I also did some more loc strings. So I think Bluestone and Javier had brought up some strings that I had missed, and those should be in. So we should be in a pretty good state right now as far as loc is concerned. I can really quick, I can pop over and talk about some of the changes I did for that. And also I've added mod support for creating new character sets and font definitions. So we will merge those in correctly now too. Because I know some folks were asking about support for like Cyrillic or some of the different non-Latin alphabets, and you can do that now. And I'll kind of touch on that a little bit today too. So I guess let me do this. I'll do some loc stuff. I will preview something cool Chad is working on, and then I will probably try to publish another one of my mods out to the workshop. And that's what today is probably going to look like. But again, the stream is flexible, and it's just mostly about getting work done and talking about the status of the project. But from my perspective, we could hit publish right now, and I would be okay with it. I don't think I have any code changes that need to get into the build. So that's why I think all the stuff is just getting my example mods into the workshop for folks to look at. So hopefully Chad has time today, and I'll probably bother him later, to get the builds cut, get the update pushed, and I think we're going to use one of our little promotion dealies to talk about it on the front page of Steam, which is kind of a big deal, but we're very excited about the workshop support. Okay, so on to localization. Let me think. So more localized strings. Let's cover that. So we have the ENUS strings. Let me just close all this because it's kind of a mess. Okay, let's look at Delver example mods. Actually, I haven't done that yet. Let's get Delver. More loc strings. So for the strings.dat is the main place where a lot of this is where all your translations really live. So I added, I know the show HUD option was not in there, so now we have the show HUD option. There's also the head bob option. This is just kind of filling out the text on the options menu. Let me see what else. Again, shadows label, you can turn on or off shadows. That is now localizable. What I also did is it used to be that the actions such as also this here too, if you turn the UI size all the way down, we display off, and that's this text here. But also the player actions used to just be by themselves. This is kind of It's not a breaking change, but it will be, if you have translations out there already, you'll need to update them. So for all these, the use, attack, drop, inventory, etc., you need to put the option screens readable actions dot in front of it. I put this little namespace in front of there to try to help clean up um, um, or at least make the strings more unique, so there's no collisions or anything like that. And also it lets us know where they're, again, this kind of echoes on our side where they're used. So I added all the readable actions. These are the player actions, so forward, back, left, right, etc. There's also some white space issue. Keyboard controls apparently wasn't locked, so that is now. I don't know how I missed that. Let me see. This looks like just spacing, yeah, tabs and spacing, all that good stuff. And I think that was mostly it. I know I also added support for, there were some other items we missed, like I think, let me see. Yeah, so the stairs, let's say up and down, now you can localize up and down. That should be in there. It should be entities, stairs, direction, dot up, entities, stairs, direction, dot down is localizable. The readable keys. These are the keys that are shown when you bind stuff to. There was a request to make this translatable. I don't know how applicable it is, but it's there now. So if you have different names for the keys on the keyboard, you can certainly change them. You can't add any new keys, but you can change the text that is shown for the key if that is useful to you. And then the option screen, just kind of, again, tidying that up. That was mostly with the show HUD, head bob, shadows, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's kind of the loop strings for those areas. And also, I have been working on, this is a quick mod to show you how to add in non-Latin characters. So let me just open up that font real quick. Yep, so there we go. Then let me throw a beautiful magenta behind it so we can actually see the characters. And this top part here is just the vanilla Delver texture sheet, or the sprite sheet for our font. And then down here, I added, oh man, it's a Japanese, I think it's katakana, I'm not sure, I'm really bad at this stuff. I added this below that. So basically, you can resize this image because of the way the font definition works. The font definition, if you look over here at the .fnt file, is an ID. That is the decimal. Yeah, so this is the Unicode value for the character in base 10. And then this is the X offset, the Y offset, and this is the width, and this is the height of that character. So you can chop out characters. So for the Latin characters, I've tried to keep them all within an 8x12 grid, but that you don't have to do that. That was just for my convenience. I think down here, this Japanese character lives inside of I think I got 15x15 or something like that, or like 14x14. Just because I guess I'm trying to prove a point is you don't have to, it doesn't have to line up with the grid. If the characters you're making for your language, if a certain size is better, go for it. You just have to go in by hand, and here at the bottom, I added in, this is that is the decimal value of the Unicode character for that particular character. And then it's X offset, it's Y offset, it's width, and it's height, so it's 15x14. And then the X advance you can update as well. And then we should handle that correctly. So if I go into engineer, let's make a junction real quick. Link junction. This is /characters. And it's from c:/users. Nope. Joshua repos. Delver. Oh, nope. GitHub. Example mods, and this is language custom characters. Cool. So now if I fire up Delver, I've just added a few pseudoloc things in just to see how just to see that it does in fact work. And yeah, I've just kind of peppered that one character all over the place, so you can see that it shows up in the text. And see, it shows up on the button, which is cool. Oop. Oh no, load error. It also shows up on items, and I think I've tried to test all the cases, and then it can also show up in notes. So the only thing I'm worried about is some of our line spacing vertically. Horizontally, things should be just handled by a framework. So if this is something that's interesting to you and it's not working how you think it is, please reach out to me, and I'd love to help you get whatever character set and translation you need help with going. You can email me at joshua.skeleton@gmail.com, and I'll help you as much as I can. Let me see. Test the coil says, is it possible to mod in a wand that causes poison damage to enemies? Yep, you just change the damage type to poison. Varntex says, hello, Josh. Hey, Varntex. Thanks for joining chat. Okay, so that is that. Like I said, I added a new character. I think I said it was 15 by 14. So there's the character. And then I just, if you notice, it's important to keep the Latin characters because this is what Delver falls back to. So don't get rid of the Latin characters. If you're making a unique alphabet, you can just resize this image, and you can just put your characters wherever they fit and just specify their coords. I think there might be tools to help you work with this .fnt file format. It's not invented by us. I think it is. I think it's like the Angel Fonts file format. I forget what it's called, but it's pretty straightforward. But I think there are some editors for it if you want to go digging for them. I think the libgdx website has some more info on that. But basically, you just specify the Unicode character code in decimal, x offset, y offset, width, height, and then if you want to move it vertically up and down or left or right, you can offset it that way. And then the advance is just the width, so you don't get overlapping characters. So hopefully that should get folks going. I might try to make a little quick video tutorial on this. I know folks have been asking about it. Also, on Steam, our translation forums are open. They may have been open last week. I can't remember. So if we go games, Delver, community, discussions, and translations. So now there is a forum for translating, and this has the links to the English and French and Spanish translations in case that's something you're interested in. Cool. So let me think. Well, I think I can go ahead and I'll go ahead and commit this because I think it's an okay spot. At least it's a small example. It's not a very exhaustive example, but it is something that will show folks how to do it. So so this should be everything you need. So basically, I'd say the font definition, the image, some strings I translated that contain the Unicode character that I provided a definition for, and this is just another string resource. Small example of custom fonts. Commit and sync. So for those of you who are interested in modding, we do have a example mod repo out there. It is at github.com/Joshua Skelly/delver-example-mods. And I have a bunch of example mods out here that should get you going. I have a character story pack, which is about items and telling a story through character items. I have a Dungeon Mice thing that shows you how to add just monsters into Delver if you're interested in how to add monsters. This is one way to do it. This is a template for creating dungeon sections. This adds a random shopkeeper to the dungeon that sells you exotic cheese. This is the gun mod, which I do actually have out on Steam now, which is pretty cool. So I think you can get to the workshop. Some folks have gotten there, and we haven't really flipped it on publicly, but some folks have gotten there. But I've added my Delver guns to the workshop, and I have a few subscribers, which is cool. People are giving me feedback, so that's nice. Mark Sally says, will the language strings be updated at GitHub? Yeah, that's a good point. Let me just do that right now. Just to give you a heads up, the new ones won't work with the beta branch just yet because these changes are newer than what's out there already, but I'll go ahead and push them. So let me just go to English strings, data strings.dat. Let me just copy and paste over the ones from Cool. Let's take a peek. Oh, this is all the tabs and spaces. Okay, cool. Updating English. Commit and sync. There you go. The new updated English string should be out there now. Cool. Tesla Coil says they are updating their mod to use the Anthony Magic system. And also, with the beta branch, you can publish your mods to the workshop before we actually flip the stuff on, if you're so interested. But if I take a peek back at Steam, I should be able to look at other people's mods. Oh, come on, Joshua. Workshop. My items. I can go to Delver Workshop. And then we have all kinds of cool stuff. We have Boarding Party, Gun Mod. Javier has a weapon expansion pack. There's an example mod that Chad created. There's the Spanish language pack by Javier. There's the German translation by Bluestone. Enrique added a mod where he changed all the spiders into scorpions for people who are scared of spiders. Hopefully this is helpful. And I believe Bluestone also added a spears mod, which is cool. So it's nice to see there are a few mods already out there. And you need update 14 for this stuff to work. So how to get update 14? Right now, go to your library, right-click on Delver in the library listing, go to Properties, click the Betas tab, and here select Beta Branch. And this will get you into the update 14 preview. And this way you can get to the workshop, download stuff. You can also, through Delve Edit, submit mods. Okay, so what's next? That's what I've been working on. Oh, let me show you. Let me show off what Chad has been working on because it's really, really quite crazy. Okay. I'm just going to check out this branch. Cool. Javier says, I opened up an issue about leveling up with health items. Does it set your health to maximum? Okay, I will take a look at that, Javier. That might be a bug that we address in the next update because I really like to get this update out as soon as possible. Yeah, so let me go to and this is a fun little mod project that Chad is working on. Oh, what did I do? Oh man, did I goofed up something? Error reading file. That's strange. It was just working the other day. I don't think I've goofed anything up, have I? Let me see. No, I don't have any changes. Yeah. Okay. Let me try running that again. I guess I haven't tried running this on my Windows machine. I was playing with it on my Mac the other day. Weird. Okay, well, maybe IntelliJ hadn't finished the build yet. It was running old binaries. Yeah, this is Chad's Overworld mod, which is pretty cool. You should drop by this little campfire. Oh, and I guess I have my gun mod installed, so I have a glowing orange shotgun, but no shotgun bullets. And it's cool. It just adds this beautiful overworld to Delver, which is nice. I think there appear to be a few perf issues, but it is still pretty early work. But I think it's cool. Let me see if I can find an area of interest. There we go. I think there's a ruin over here. Yeah. So it's a procedural countryside that's kind of peppered with these little areas of interest, which I think is a really cool way of doing it. So I'm excited for that little mod that Chad was putting out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It adds some interesting things to Delver. Let me see. I think we're going to keep that as a mod and not as part of Delver proper. But hopefully it will allow folks who want to do the overworld stuff a way to do it. So that's exciting. Okay, yeah, so I don't really have a lot to do on this update, so maybe I will. Yeah, let me focus on trying to get my mods, kind of another one of my mods published and out. Cool. So I'm just changing the branch back to our normal development branch. And I really want to get my character story pack published. So let me go ahead and make a. I do not have sufficient privileges. What? What? Oh, it needs to be a junction. And I'm curious why it's also giving me. There we go. Why it's giving me that error, but whatever. Cool. So what this should do, I think it should be building. Can you build? Sometimes to trigger build, I have to make a change. So main menu screen, Control Z, Control S. Okay, let's try running it. Yeah, an issue we have though right now is mods. Like your save files can depend on mod files. So if you are playing a modded version of Delver, you need to be mindful of that with your save files. Tesla Coil says, when you start working on more content, would you consider adding modded content to the base game, including mods you made? No, I'd rather keep the base game pretty small and simple, and then let folks kind of add to it as they like. Hopefully that makes sense. Because I want the base Delver game experience to be tight and concise, and then the people who want the kitchen sink experience can certainly enable that. So what this mod does is it just adds some unique items. So like I can get a wizard hat, which gives me lots more magic, and I can wear Unique's wizard robe, and Unique's wizard boots. Nice. So now I'm dressed like a little wizard, and I think I even have yeah, his staff, which I can wield. Sweet. And now we're a wizard. Yeah, so I want to get this out on the workshop so folks can have a good example of how to make this content. And a lot of the mods I've made for this update are more to serve as examples than to be complete playable experiences. I try to make them as complete as I can, but I'm trying to mostly just make enough mods so people can see how a little bit of everything is done. because sometimes getting into the Delver modding can be a little overwhelming for folks. So I think it's good having small, digestible examples. Ah! Cool. And he also has. Again, I'm trying to do some storytelling with some of his junk. So like he also has an old academy sword, which is just a rusty old sword. It's kind of slow, but it gets the job done. Ah, come on. Try to lure him onto the spikes. Try to keep some. Ouch. Something between me and the mage. Cool. Very nice. Okay, so I need an image for this. I think is the one thing that's it's kind of stopping me from putting this out. Which I should just make an image. Maybe today will be a chill pixel art kind of day. If there's something you folks would like to see, please ask. I'm happy to talk about the project, game dev in general, just kind of whatever you folks are interested in at the moment. Nope. Guns, we have this mod preview. I think it's 268 by 268 if I remember correctly. Yeah, which is kind of an odd size, but I think that's what the default is in Steam, so I try to keep it around, I'll try to keep it exact so they don't have to resize it. Okay. So I want this to be I was kind of inspired for the character pack by these Warhammer Quest character expansion. Warhammer Quest had these cool character expansions where basically you could buy this little box set and it gave you a different character class to play. And that's, I kind of like the way they presented this. So I might kind of riff on that a bit, where I have like Delbert. I really do like the way this looks. So maybe I'll just kind of start there and see where it takes me. Okay, so let's do image size. I'm going to reduce it by 50% so I can upscale it to get nice, nice chunky detail. Nearest neighbor. Okay, there you go. File, save as, and this should be in character story pack. Mod preview.ping, save. Okay. All right. My alt key stuck. Yep. Come on, keyboard. It might be Photoshop. Let me restart Photoshop. Correct, Tesla Coil. Not all the wands have multiple versions. That is intentional. Right, so let me just do maybe a quick 1-bit mock-up of what I think it ought to look like. So I want something like Delver up here. There's this circle thing, which was kind of cool. And then they had down here, like, this is the thing. Maybe this will say character pack. And this will be Gray Wizard. And then, of course, the Gray Wizard will be maybe just his portrait here with his floppy hat. I'm trying to find a picture of a bearded fellow for my Gray Wizard. And again, my idea with this wizard is he's kind of like a hedge wizard, so he's not really like a super high fantasy wizard. He's more of a kind of a huckster, he definitely has magical abilities, but he's also a crafty fella as well. So let me maybe go ahead with some of the stuff I can just do now. So if I just start working on a font, maybe. Probably just lift Delver's font. That would be a fast way to do it. Just chop this here. Or is it easier to have it? I just don't know if I have enough room here for the, oh, maybe. Yeah, barely. Let's try that. I'm just going to try to quickly, just using the marquee select and then using the move tool while holding Alt, I'm just going to try to block out all caps, or should I have lower? Yeah, let's try lower. Maybe I'll feel that more. If I'm misspelling something, please let me go. Care. Carrick, C-T-E-R, I believe. turn that off real quick. This is turn that off. Yeah. So I think, yeah. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll pull the T up a little. I guess let's put that T back just in case. Just in case. Or is it story? I think story pack might be more correct. Javier says I should use that T in the original Delver font. Sure, I can update that in the Delver font. Let me just do that real quick. I think it's this one right here, actually. Okay. That might be all the T's. If I've missed any T's, let me know. There we go. Yep, that was a quick fix. Sorry it was bothering you folks. I think initially the Delver character sets were way more restrictive on size, and that might have been why they were smaller, or it might have just been a stylistic reason. I don't know, but it's changed. Again, thank you for the feedback. We do try to do our best to listen to the feedback you folks provide. We always listen. We may not always immediately act on it, but we do listen. Okay, so I think the rest of this can just be hidden. I think I had something like this. I don't know if character story pack will fit all in one line. Let's see. Nope, grabbed a little too much there. Up, and for some reason it's deleting off-screen pixels. Yeah, well, that kind of works. It's definitely fills the whole screen there. Okay, so maybe down here I can just kind of quickly erase all this garbage so this kind of stands out a little bit better. There we go. Also, let me do Gray Mage down in that font too. Okay. I always forget if it's AY or EY. I think one is a color and one is... I'll do EY. I think that's not as popular here in the US, but I like the EY better. I think I even wrote an E down here, so let's do that. Let's chop that out. So marquee. So let me just turn off that. Okay, let me pop back over to chat and see what I can. Testicoil says, is it possible the drop off from the wand defined? That is defined by the speed at which the projectile is created. And they just obey gravity, so you can't really change. I don't think you can change the speed at which they fall. Cool. Okay, let me just cut that, hide that, paste that, and then let's bring up that mockup again and just slide that down. I think that's nice in the center too, so that's cool. Let me go to my nasty mockup and just go erase it. Yeah, erase out this stuff. Cool. Yep. So with slow moving projectiles, if they obey gravity, then they'll just fall directly at your feet. That's correct. You would have to make it not obey gravity if you want to have a slow moving projectile. Then Just trying to think. I want to have a like a nice little Delver logo that's pixel art. Because I don't know if we haven't really ever had a pixel art Delver logo. We basically just I think Chad took the illustrated logo that Sam Garcia drew for us, and he just scaled it down. So let me try doing a pixel art. Again, I'm just going to stay right now with just 1-bit. And see how far that can get me. Not going to try to focus too much on the other stuff just yet. Cool. Let me just real quick just try to clean this up a little bit and try to make it agree with Sam's. He did a really, I think he's done the logo he did for us many years ago is still really cool. So I'm gonna try to keep the spirit of that if I can. I guess I might as well just I keep losing chat. Let me. I think where do I have it? Let me just open up. Good. Let's just open this up and I'll just pop it into its own little window. And that way you folks can see what I'm actually referencing and not just me staring off the side of the screen blankly. But I'm just going to try to keep the general shape rendered out in just black and white, and then I can later come back in and I can add color to it. Because he has these kind of cool flourishes on the characters. So I'm just quickly color picking. I will have to go back and delete the black off of this because I don't want it to actually have black pixels. I just want it to have transparent pixels, but that's something I can clean up here in just a second. I'm just trying to quickly just try to translate the same feel. It doesn't have to be perfect. It most likely won't be perfect. That's okay. And the R and the E kind of cross here, which is interesting. Also, if something's wrong with my proportions or something looks funky, please let me know. I'm just really kind of fast and loose freehanding this thing. Okay, let me step back and squint. I think I need to fix the V. Let me do something like this. Right, all this looks too. Sorry. This is the part where I just look at it and squint and just do little pixel changes. Um, Maybe the D should be a touch bigger. I think the D and the R should roughly be the same size. Let me lasso this and then just bump that down. Maybe bump the other side up. Cool. Let me make this just a little bit thicker. Let me pull that up. Again, this L shouldn't be as low as it is. Maybe these all should maybe have the same height. So maybe that's what's bothering me. So then this E needs to, I think this E is okay. And the E is correct, just the V needs to come down another pixel. And then maybe that's okay. Yeah, I think it's looking all right. Oh, I'm getting dangerously low on coffee. That's all right. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Let me position this. So come on, Photoshop, don't fail me. Let's see if I can. Okay, that should be centered that direction. Then I'm going to slide it up here. Then go to our little mock-up. Let me just delete out the stuff underneath it here. Okay, now let's call this, which one is this? Oh yeah, this is our mock-up wires. And then this is character story pack. And this is Great Wizard. And this should be Delver logo. I think this is Alphabet. Cool. All right, so character story pack needs to come down a little bit to let the Delver logo breathe a bit. Okay. Excuse me. Maybe even Delver needs to come down a little bit too, because it's pretty close to the top there. Let me pull this up. Okay, so story pack down a little. Okay. This is cool. Looking good. Yeah, because what I really I guess the tricky part is going to be down here. Let me see if I can just really rough in a. Like I want the hat to be a good chunk of what we see. And a face should be something like this. Try to just maybe the hat brim should be down. Nose, beard, eyebrow, bushy beard, cheek. I think I've drawn a bearded dude before. Let me Let me pop into my old pixel art folder and see if there's anything good in there. I've not drawn this guy before. He has a beard. What else? Let me just look at it, because I think Photoshop allows me to see previews of Photoshop files. Let's do documents, pixel art. No, they don't. Yikes. I think my Fremen, he had a beard. I wonder if I could chop this out and use it real quick. Yeah, that might be okay. So let me just delete the stuff I don't need. Yeah. Okay. At least that gets me. That's probably I won't probably use that thing, but at least it gets me a jump on where I want to be. I want to actually have him wearing his hat and the repositories, GitHub, Delver example mods, story pack. The items too, so maybe I'll pop those out and zoom in on them because I want him to be wearing his hat and his robe. I can just color pick and steal from there. Because it's just a floppy wizard hat, and then like he has sort of like a robe with the kind of like this hood on it. I'm also wondering if I should make the head bigger. Let me just duplicate that and then just play around with sizing it. I always hate Photoshop's nearest. For some reason, the preview looks good, and then when you commit it, it like pops and changes, which is obnoxious. You know, it always leaves a few pixels to be cleaned up at best, and at worst, it just totally destroys your entire image. So something like that. Cool. Okay. And what's this? Yeah, that's the sketch of the wizard person. Let me go to my mockup wires. Let me add this circle part because that should be pretty easy. Should be pretty just straightforward line art. I guess the thing I'm asking myself is, do I want it to be a perfect circle, or would I rather it be an ellipsoid? I don't know. I really don't know. My brush size is jumping pretty good on here too, so let's do that. Brush. See, that's roughly correct. 100 pixels, and then it jumps up to 125, so maybe 120. Okay, let's create a new layer. Let's make it white. Just do something like that, maybe. Maximus the Greatest said, "Did you start with pixel art, or did you come from a traditional background?" I guess I'm old enough where I did come from a traditional background. There weren't really, as a kid, there weren't really any very many paint programs. My first computer that I played around on was a DOS machine, and we didn't even have a mouse. I remember when we got our first mouse, and that was a very cool thing. We had a little 1-bit paint program, but I primarily learned on traditional media. Modify contract by 1 pixel. Let's delete that. Okay. Is that going to be okay? Is that too big? It might be too big, Joshua. Let's try the brush. Let's try size 100. That might actually just be what I was looking for. And I think, yeah, here I have some black pixels just floating around, but let me select those and select modify contract by 1 pixel. Delete, Control D. Let me turn off that mock-up. I think that'll be okay. I mean, a perfect circle is, I think it's all right. And then let me just center this in that image. I think it is. Okay. Photoshop seems to think that is centered. So I'll just tap the Trust Photoshop on that one. Resize this a little bit, hide that. Let me see. I wonder if I could just bash my way to most of the portrait and then just go ahead and clean it up. So let me see if I can just copy this. And then here, Control V, put it up here, and Control T, and just kind of resize it. It's too big. Is it too big? It's not floppy enough, but that might be close. I can add extra flop to it. And I'm also I'm definitely going to have to go back and touch it up because all these pixels are way too big, you know. That shouldn't be so bad. Like that's just cleaning up my nasty pixel tricks I was using there. Yeah, so that's. I'm looking at a picture of images, floppy wizard hat, and I apologize if this has weird stuff in it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like how on I guess the Gandalf is the very stereotypical wizard, but I like how you can always see the lower brim of his hat. So let me try to do that with this one. So it would have to be something like, I have to kind of change the angle of the hat entirely because I think this one's canted the wrong direction, whereas this one would be canted like up versus down. So I'd need to kind of change the way the strap is working. It has to kind of, the strap would need to go up. And then we have these pixels would come in here. That. Even this brim should have an upward cant to it. And more of his face would be shown because of this. Is that right? Let me look at my reference real quick. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe have this come right across the brow line. And have this kind of exaggerate how big and floppy it is. have the brim kind of catch the light a little bit as it goes towards the back. That should darken. There should be a bit of a highlight here, the front where it catches the light. And just kind of maybe this is just me needing to maybe nudge the whole thing down a little bit too to sit. Maybe see, yeah, there we go. That feels a little bit better. Make it fit more correctly on his head. There we go. It's feeling much better. I did like that small dark line there. Cool. I mean, really, his head should just kind of go into the hat, right? That's how hats work. Though I might want to have darker pixels there to kind of imply, there is some sort of shadow on him, and I might want to shade his face too. I'm sorry about that. Let me let's just exit Steam for the time being. Okay. And I think for his, so that's his hat. Let me just, hat, face. Let's also throw on the start of a robe, so we can get a feel for what it would look like. So I want this to kind of come up, maybe have something like that. Well, this might be too close to his face. Let me see how. Again, let's look at Gandalf. Oh, that sits a little bit lower. Let's pretend like he has a neck, right? Maybe I'm going to put my brush size and my eraser size to 2, so I don't really focus so much on details, but worry more about just big, broad shapes. Because really that's what I'm concerned with right now. His beard really should overlap this, so also maybe I need to keep that in mind too. Hey Chris, how the heck are you, sir? Also, if I'm going to go back to my, I think, what was it? Oh, I think I have it over here. Let me just pull it over here. So they have they have the kind of these gold colors, but I think Delver is more of a silver. So maybe I'll have the stuff be silver. So Chris, are you fully recovered from your trip to the States and back to being productive on Skynoon? Yeah, so this should be here. Oh, so I keep accidentally hitting the button on my pin to bring that up, and I'm not intending to. And I thought I turned off the right click, but I guess I haven't. Cool, glad to hear it, Chris. Interesting. So traveling between the United States and New Zealand actually improved your sleep habits rather than destroy them, because that's what I'd be worried about, is just totally losing any amount of like regularity I had. Okay. That has been an interesting, for me, I guess. I am self-employed, as technically this is all I do to earn my income, but also I'm a stay-at-home father. So in some ways my kiddo helps regulate my sleep schedule, which is nice. Because yeah, I'm guilty of also falling into bad sleep patterns if left to my own devices. Yeah, I tend to naturally kind of have this pattern where I keep staying up later and later. It's like I don't know, like my body gets on this weird schedule where like I want to be up longer. Like I want the day to have more than 24 hours in it or something like that, if that makes sense. Probably not, but um, okay, so okay. I'm liking where this is going. Let me. Okay, so I don't need this guy. The Fremen I don't need anymore either. Don't need that. No. What I want to do, let me see. So I think this is heading in, right now I'm going to, so I think that's heading in a direction I like. I want to maybe try to see what some of the bigger color forms are going to be before I get too far down this rabbit hole. If that makes any sense. So this is circle frame. And I want to, can I Control J? And something like, let me just put a kibosh on that. I think the brush, it was what brush size, 100? Something like that. Yeah. And so if I go to, if I want a 4 pixel, maybe 108. Is that correct? 110? Because I want a gap of 4. Is that right? Let's see. That doesn't feel right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's turn off some of this stuff. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this might be a little thinner than I would have done if I had done it by hand. Yeah, we are on daylight savings time now. So is that better or worse for you, Chris? Select, modify, contract. Cool. Because I think you generally hang out in the stream before you go to work every day. Which is dedication, and I appreciate it. Okay. Okay, now if I put the text back on top of that, I want to do something here. I need to call those out too. Maybe put this in its own little box. Yeah, I should make a new layer, Joshua. That would be the better thing to do. There we go. I can play around with the size of the chicks. I think I really would like to let it breathe a little bit more. You know, if that makes sense. However that works. I think it should tell me where center is. Yeah. And then maybe do something similar up here for the character story pack. So let's use Control J to duplicate that and drag it down there. And then up here, this is going to be basically the whole darn thing. Cool. Then I may need to select both these layers and just bump them down one, maybe. I don't know what happened. Is there, or is it on the Delver font? Delver logo? Yeah, the Delver logo has black on it, so let me just select the black pixels and delete those. Or not. There we go. Cool. Also, I'm wondering now if the circle needs to be resized. So I think the thing I'm riffing on. Oh, no. No, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. And I think I'm probably going to make whatever this ends up being. I will put it out on the repo. You folks can use it to make your own story packs if you're so inclined. Trying to think. What I want to do is create a clipping layer. Something like that. What's the best way to do that? So maybe put a new layer below here, make it black, and then can I? Oh. And all these temp layers. Yeah, so I can pitch this one, I can pitch that one, and now I can start putting this all in the clipping layer. And all that does is it keeps these pixels inside of this defined area. So real quick, if I were to go back to this is on the robe stuff. So now if I draw, it just keeps it nicely within the circle, which is ultimately what I want it to do. So that will be handy for working on these different layers. Right now I just have a different layer for the robe, for the face, and for the hat. And eventually this will all be flattened out. And right now I'm still trying to solve big problems. Make a new layer. And I want to have some sort of splash of color, because I think that's what they have too, is they have like a nice, they have a light blue, but maybe some sort of color. I can start with light blue and I can kind of go from there. So there's that. Get that all nice and filled in. I can Control U and just do some color shifting and see what I like. So I want it to be like a nice contrasty color because right now he's a lot of brown. And maybe a blue-green. Maybe pull the sat up a little bit. Let's something like that maybe. Then maybe I can maybe color pick that and then go lighter and more saturated, and then shift it maybe more towards blue. Just do just kind of pick out some forms there. And hey, Mazonix, welcome back. Yeah, this is just background detail. It's nothing I need to worry too much about. But I think it. And again, maybe here. Similarly, I'll just go even lighter and more desat and more blue. Let's pull up our value our brightness way up. That might be too high. Pull it down just a touch. Nope. Turn my sat way down. Because I don't want this to be super. I'll probably play around again with the colors on this. I want it just to be a pretty subtle thing in the background. So maybe you'll do a wand, and let me go turn off contiguous and just select all these, and then play around with how bright it really is. So I pulse. Play with my hue shifting. Well, something like that can be okay for now. Let me see. File, open recent. Let me pull this one back in because I want to kind of look at the colors on the Delver logo. I know they're just kind of a silver and a blue color. It has kind of like that, what is it called? I think it's like desert chrome kind of effect going on. Which I could probably kind of just do a light version of that for the Delver up here. Okay. Again, these boxes are just, again, they're just temporary. I'm just trying to figure out what I like. So yeah, I think those colors are okay. I think he pops all right. What to do next? This Delver up here is pretty hard to read. How this all, the Warhammer Quest has its own little banner that it's part of. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that, but maybe if I added just one thing of black on it, or sorry, one layer of sellout on it. So it's got a Delver logo. Let's do make a selection. Let's go to select, modify, expand by a single pixel. Let's fill it in with black. The other black, there we go. And that maybe helps it read a little bit better. I could probably change that to the blue if I want to later. Let me just try doing a simple kind of like this Chrome style thing on it. So I think also, yeah, so I'm going to select this. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to hit Alt and click in between the two to make it a clipping layer. And that way I can just kind of quickly, like I can color pick from this one. Over here I can just go, boom. Yeah, so I think I'm liking the direction this is headed. I'm going to probably play around with some of the contrasty bits, but pull that up. pull those down a little bit, pull their sat up a little bit. Maybe put a small stripe of this right through here. Like that, maybe. Maybe put a small band in this gray here. Why am I not? There we go. Like that. And then I think he has this nice little edge highlight, so maybe I'll just go up here and just kind of pick out the edges in white. And again, this is just trying to see how things look. I will definitely tweak things. Just trying to solve the big things kind of first. And I think the E overlaps the R, so I can kind of maybe suggest that a little bit. Oh yeah, no. So so for those, if you're joining in late, Chris, what I did is I just found a. I went to my pixel art folder, and I have a. This guy is from Dune. I did a Dune-inspired piece of pixel art probably years back now, and I just ripped his head out of it just to throw it in to um, have something to work with, right? Um, it will definitely get changed. I'm just trying to block in stuff quick and dirty, get a feel for how things are going to look, and not again. Don't I'm not gonna try. I'm trying to be good about not worrying about details until they're actually like relevant, you know. And this might be me breaking that rule right here, fiddling around with all this text stuff. Again, readability is the higher priority here than the fanciness, so I'm going to have to clean that up some more too. That's getting closer. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and flatten out at least the wizard part. That's working for me okay, so I'm going to just start kind of noodling on him a little bit more. Maybe try to clean up the hat shape a bit. I'm not going to worry too much about colors right now. I'm just trying to worry about getting a good shape. Yeah, that's a good point, Javier. Yeah, the salad color right now is a for the logo is a black. I I could certainly change that. You know, I can if you go to you do hue saturation, click colorize, you can drag the lightness way up, and then I can play around with finding like a maybe this bluish color would be okay. You know, something like that. You know, that may work. And then I'll probably do some AA to clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna noodle on him a little bit more. And if there's anything you folks would like to see in particular, please let me know. Just adding some folds to the hat. Let's focus on the band a little bit. To kind of because since I canted the hat up, I kind of destroyed a lot of that detail. So let me kind of try to get some of that back. Still want to preserve the curvature of the hat. I think over here I'm implying that there's something like this going on where there's multiple things that wrap around maybe. Not quite sure. I'm also curious, like bands on a hat used to be a more common thing. I wonder, do folks know why? Like, was it to help hats retain their shape, or to help ensure that they had a good fit on the wearer's head? I'm curious if anyone knows why. Okay, that shape's looking okay. Let me clean up the brim on this side. Just trying to have the pixels have a nice because I like to have the way they curve be it's hard to explain like when you're rounding off something. Oh, I guess I have this. I want to make sure that the pixels go like you know 4 4 or sorry 3 3 2 2 2 2 2 1 1 1 1 and then before I turn the corner. If you have something that is like 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2, this sort of line is going to look weird and not feel quite right. Where if you went you know like 3 then you went down to like 2 and 2, then it feels a little bit better. At least in my opinion. I mean, this is the stylistic thing. But you find that line work is people kind of talk about that quite a bit in the pixel art communities. Okay, so I think the hat shape is getting pretty okay. I don't know if I should. Or that maybe might make the bands feel too thick because they're not really terribly thick. They're just a small little layer of material that goes around the hat. I think that's okay. Okay, let me just take a breath and pop back out. Look at this stuff. Yeah, the top part of the hat won't even be seen, so don't spend too much time on it. Okay. Let me solve, like I want the frame, maybe the frame should also be that Delver silver. I like, that's how this is gold and gold, and it kind of has the gold all throughout, so maybe have kind of a silver and blue all throughout to make it kind of all agree. Which I think could be cool. Let's see. Let me just try that. So that's the clip layer. This is the inside. This is the outside. So I ought to be able to select that. And one. So control shift select that, and then shift select. Come on. Okay, that should be everything inside there. New layer. Let's make it this bluish, desaturated blue color. Okay. There's a couple ways I could do this. Like me, the cheap and dirty ways, I could just kind of repeat this pattern, I guess, like just every so often, like you do something like pew, 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 pew. If that makes sense. Let me undo that, and then just throw another clipping layer on. So new layer, clip, and then I can maybe better illustrate. Yeah, I just don't know if I like the way that looks. It might be better to do something like so select and expand to pixels, and then fill that in dark blue. Do one more. What if I expand 1 pixel? Fill that in. And maybe put the highlight there. So the highlight here. Is that too? Try that. So turn these off and see what that looks like. Or maybe on the outer one, leave that on. Might have to play with the color on that too. Yeah, both of these. Maybe this one can be this dark. Make them the dark blues. We have this kind of serve as my AA color. And also maybe have this. I don't know, that might be too complicated. Let me try just the one. Let me turn off this stuff. Okay. There's an AA there, there. Just trying to figure out where this works best. Okay, so let me try just, because this should be, I should be able to like just reuse this chunk and save myself some time. So Control J, then edit. Oh, wait, did I get the right thing? Yeah. So edit full transform flip vertical. Is that right? What am I trying to do with this thing here? And Control T. So I have this. I want to rotate it 90 and then flip it horizontal. Is that what I want to do? Maybe. Maybe. I think that's what I wanted to do. Okay, let's merge that down and then duplicate it, then edit, transform, flip horizontal. Cool. That kind of worked. Merge that down. And I think I need to fix this spot here. And then I think I want to have it feel like it's like a beveled thing, so maybe you need to flip the way this is rendered on the bottom here. So how to do that fast and dirty? Where's the, okay, so let me, something like this, Control J. Did I break my clipping layer? Does it matter? Okay, so here, let's go ahead and make this real quick, just this color. Make this oh, that's only the, oh, okay. Let's select that, and then brush, and maybe go with this darker, the dark blue here, and just kind of paint this in. Here. This should just kind of indicate that the lighting is changing. Okay. And then, where's my highlight stuff? Here? Yeah. What I want to do is continue the highlight, but have it be on the inside here. Kind of ride the, like where this, it really probably should be a bit tighter too. So can I, so let's try to select modify contract by 1. Okay. I invert that selection, then let's just see if we can paint in this blue color. We can. Let's quickly paint in this blue color, just to thin that out a bit. And I'm on the wrong, I want to be on, yeah, this one here. When you start working with lots of layers, don't be like me and get confused. Try to keep it in your head which ones you're working on. It helps. Because I mean, that's the whole point of working with layers, is to have I tend to work with layers because I find that sometimes the undo stack isn't quite what I would want it to be. So I just use layers as undo stacks effectively. Okay, so now I'm just going to create a new layer, and then I'm going to kind of continue on with this highlight, but it's going to live. Let's see. Let me just try to figure it out as I go. Yeah, there's definitely some issues with the line work there, but we can fix it up. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm starting to crowd it in a little bit. So there we go. Okay, let me do the AA on that, which I think is so this needs to be so G. Oh, Joshua. This one. There we go. So that needs to be that color. There we go. Now we can more correctly do our AA on this one. Chris says, apologies for asking, but when do you guys think about dropping the update? So from my perspective, we can drop the update at any time. It's just whenever Chad has the time to cut the build. Because all the changes that I want to get in are in. So hopefully soon. Oh, there's just some bits over here that really bother me. There we go. Okay, more AA. Sometimes I tend to go a little bit overboard on that, so something I need to keep in mind. Let me just select all this. Control J. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Right. I think that is correct. Maybe. Apparently I didn't grab enough. It looks good-ish. Yeah. Let me just fix this bit over here. Okay, so that's looking all right. Again, I can always make it better, but right now let's consider the stuff solved. Okay, there we go. Clean up some of these old layers I'm not using anymore. So this is frame. This is portrait clip mask. Hey, Louis Carl. Thanks for stopping by, man. How have you been? All right, let's turn all these back on. Alphabet, I think I can get rid of. Let me click this file, save as. So just save it so I don't lose it, because that would not be fun. Um, Thanks for the kind words, Louis. Yeah, I'm making a mod. So I'm looking to publish my other um, my other mod about the character story pack. So that's what this is going to be a piece of cover art for. So I've been going 2 hours now. I've been making some decent progress, but I'd like to get this close to being done and get it published and kind of go through the whole process of that again. I've been streaming for a couple hours. Let me just take a real quick break. I'm going to grab a bite, use the restroom, and I will be back. So please bear with me. Uh, I'll be back at, say, 14:07. 4/2/2017. Cool. I'll be back in just a few moments, folks. All right, I am back. Yeah, pizza time is any moment now, or was. Okay, let's get back to what I was working on before my break, which is making a mod preview for my character story pack for Delver, which is just going to be some pixel art of it's a portrait of a wizard. Here is his gear down here, so I'm kind of using those as a reference slash uh, kind of photo bashing it a little bit to get going. And now I'm going to go back through and clean up the art. Yeah, and I'm just going to keep doing pixel art. And again, this is for my game Delver. If you have any questions, please ask. Okay. Oh man, we tweak the hat shape a little bit more. Portraits. Background. Let me see. I think I need to balance out the hat shape a little bit. I think it needs to come maybe a little more this way. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so I still need to solve um, these two elements here, the Gray Wizard and the character story pack, because they're kind of obviously they're still very placeholdery, and I need to figure out what to do with them. Again, they just mirror what they do. So yeah, I could. Oh yeah. No, Louis is asking about a template for the language packs, which I think would be helpful, and I've not gotten around to doing, unfortunately, Louis. I would like to. I probably ought to. Um, I will keep the folks as long as you are. If you keep an eye on the Delver example mods repo, I'll keep posting stuff out there or committing stuff out there, and I'll try to let some of the folks who I know are working on translations. When I put up a template for the mod preview there, I'll let folks know. I also wonder if I should maybe not make that black, but maybe a dark gray. Make it the same color as my background, so it just makes it really confusing to work. The oh, I can leave it black for now, but I think I eventually would want to change the color. Um, I want to add bits of color here, but I don't want it to feel too like slapdash, if that makes sense. Um, hmm. Let me just try some stuff. Maybe the AA would make this feel a little bit better. I don't know. That's too much AA. I think I need to solve the color problems first before I go into all this anti-alias. I mean, I could. I could make it a gold. That could be. I mean, that would definitely pop. And we do have. Let me pick the gold out of here. That may work. Maybe. Out of curiosity, let me make sure this is colorblind okay. So if I add a hue saturation, enter the sat all the way down. Okay, it's still readable, which is good. Pardon me. Yeah, let me try going with gold on that. Great Wizard. Maybe just a tiny little bit of. I'm just gonna play around with some stuff. So we get a little highlight color. Is there a highlight color? Is it just white? Yeah, I think so. Do that. Go back in and remove it from the place if it's not appropriate. It's a darker orange. I'm getting all chromy now, aren't I? This. Does it make more sense to have this just right on top here? It's kind of okay, I guess. It's lots of chrome going on. Definitely lots of chrome. I could certainly maybe take this pure white and colorize it to a yellow. So it'd have to be pretty bright, I guess. It's probably okay without that little white highlight. I think I'm liking the direction this is headed. I'm trying to have a very old school kind of feel. So hopefully that is coming across. Also, I guess I could do a real cheap. Let me see. Do a cheap drop shadow. So this is. I think this should be. Wait. Okay. Let's just layer. Select all that. Let's select that. Let's fill it in. Control U. Then darken that in. Maybe color shift it a little bit, just to add some interest. There we go. All right. Let me just repeat that process for this text. So put that down there. And just fill in with this color. I think it's a purple. Put that down there. Make a new layer and select that. Hide our marching ants. This needs to come in right here. Again, it needs to be size 2. Then the very bottom. Okay. All right, that's nice. I'm wondering if I should offset this one direction that way also. Or did I? What's that all about? Did I? It's weird. Okay. Hide that. Put that back up. And select that color. For some reason, it didn't fill in the. I don't know. I'm not sure why it didn't. Nudge this. I don't know what's. Oh, do I have some? Do I still have some sort of selection? Yeah, I do have some sort of selection going on. That's what's going on. So let's just select it. Select everything and delete it. And let's select that text and then do that. I think that's what I wanted. Yes. And now I can play around with it if I want it to be just one direction. It might be okay to do. Add that angle to it. Yeah, I like it all right. Maybe since I can maybe imply that it is recessed, so let's just select this and just add that shadow across the top maybe. And then down this side. And here, same thing. Okay, cool. Save. Yeah, now I'm thinking maybe this Delver logo probably should be the darker blue that I have there now. Maybe I should bump it up a little bit so it's not stomping so much over on the text. That's okay. Okay, now back to some more pixel art. Let me start working more on the character since that's the more interesting bit. Just kind of add a little bit to this brim here. I do want to have the light wrap around just a little bit to the back side here. Just a little bit, not much. Help provide a little bit of sense of depth though. Need to be careful because I always end up putting myself like in this AA hell way too early. Sorry, this might Okay, let me focus on solving big things first. Okay. Hat shape is okay. You know, I only want to really worry about rendering what bits of the hat people can actually see. Otherwise, it's wasted. And there should be the shadow, this kind of purpley shadow should kind of come down here. You can just try to make sure that the lighting um, agrees. So his hat should be lit all from the same source, should be lighting it, so the direction should be consistent. Just trying to keep this little highlight from the rim going on around. Maybe kind of imply the shape is a little bit more um, like it caves. I guess the disc shape is consistent as well. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I think it cups like over his head like this rather than out. So I'm trying to figure out how to describe that with words, but my words are failing me right now. Maybe also just kind of bulk this up a little bit too. I'm not even sure if the purple's working anymore. That might be too much. Oh man. Let me see. That's doing okay. The sellout here, but that's detailed stuff that I shouldn't be worrying about just yet, Joshua. Um, let's focus on this guy. I think I want to make his beard more gray, so let's see if I can just select the hair bits. Okay, I think that should mostly do it. So if I duplicate that, hide his face, I think I got, is this just a hole in the, yeah, that's just a hole, okay. Okay, I want just his hair, just the hair. Now I can play around with the colors of that. So real quick and dirty, I could make it lighter, but that's not quite the right way to do it, you know. Then also I can play around with, similarly, I can play around with his skin color too. Let me real quick just try to manually select this chunk of his face. Because some of his, I use some of the colors of his beard overlap with his face, so I'm just trying to just pick out his face and not necessarily the hair colors. Okay, let's duplicate that. So now I can color shift all this stuff to my like, so I can make him blue or whatever color I want. But most likely I will just grab individual bits and just kind of adjust those individually. So like I can grab this, maybe make it a little bit lighter, a little bit more desaturated. And then same thing for here, lighter. I goofed something up there. Okay, so this needs to be the lightest part. I'm just going to pull up the brightness on everything. Also, yeah, the sat is important there too. Should I maybe even pull the lightness up on this? Just a tiny bit. Maybe pull the saturation way down. Just trying to find good colors. And also I can play around with extending out this beard too. Because he really should have a nice full beard, I think. Any respectable wizard should have a nice full beard. Make my brush size a little bit bigger so I don't focus in on the details so much. More worried about getting a good shape. Okay. I think this is okay. Let me kind of pick out bits of hair here. And also, as it basically it should get really shaded up here underneath this brim, because the hat is going to be really covering up most of what's going on up here. You can still imply stuff, but I want to just keep it dark. So Mark Sally says, looks awesome. I never thought that Photoshop would be a good pixel art software. I mean, a tool, like tools are great and all, but they don't really necessarily make, like, you can still make art with any tool. Certain tools make certain jobs easier, for certain, but I wouldn't say that Photoshop is just a no-go for pixel art. I know a lot of pixel artists who use it. You just have to know how to, I guess, set it up correctly so that you can make, you know, pixel art. A lot of it has to do with just turning off a lot of the stuff, the aliasing and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, so now I'm just going to kind of just do the detailing process of going through this beard and trying to just pick out the little bits of, like, just kind of create shapes that imply like what the uh, what the beard should look like. So I'm just going to maybe go back to my medium gray here and just kind of block in these large chunks of hair. And one thing about pixel art is, like, it's important to think about clusters. So what that is groups of pixels that are next to each other. If you notice, very seldom is a single pixel ever by itself. Usually they have these little groups they kind of live in, and I kind of worry about the shape of that group or that cluster, is what I kind of stress over. Maybe stress is a wrong word for that, but that's the shape of the cluster is what I'm more concerned myself with than the placement of individual pixels is the placement of the feel of the whole group of pixels. So hopefully I'm making sense and not just babbling like a madman. Okay, so now I need to be careful about this highlight on the hair. and try to figure out where it should fall. So let me just kind of paint this over real quick. Okay. And what I can do is just make a selection of all that color and hide my marching ants and make a new layer. Just kind of quickly on top with maybe a larger brush, I can kind of just draw some strokes and see where I think it ought to live. Maybe so looking at beards, my beard ref on the other screen, kind of here-ish. I don't want to destroy all my, then kind of here-ish. Okay. But now I can say merge that down, and then I can go back through with my medium gray and kind of do some judicious AA. Again, just trying to make sure these shapes of the highlights work well. Can we pop back over to chat and make sure I'm not missing out on anything? Okay, nope. Quiet day for chat. Hopefully folks are having a nice day. Yeah, his mustache area is a little confusing, so maybe I should go in and fix that up a bit too. Also, let me play around with his skin tone. Yeah, I'm liking the old wizard look better. That makes. So with this is his face. Control U. Like desat that. Desatting does a lot. Play with the hue. Hue. Brightness. Hue. Sat. Desat. Just trying to explore. So I'm thinking of this. He's kind of like a guy that lives out in the woods, so maybe something a little bit more tan is appropriate. Cool, Mark Sally. It's very exciting to see that you're working on a Catalan translation. If you have any things that you bump into that you need help with, let me know. Okay. It's definitely darker. I think I accidentally included the eyes, so let me just go ahead and erase those. So I don't want to keep those separate from the skin tone. Okay. I'm just worried that. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not super great with dark-skinned folks. I apologize. I'm just trying to think from a composition standpoint. Like, I guess I could make him, like, I could go the other direction too. Um, where I make him really, really pale. Let's try leave the hue the same. Pull the sat down, way down, lightness down, up, down, up. Hmm. Maybe on his beard I can play with pushing the highlights up just a tiny bit. But, well, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to find good contrast so the elements are definitely distinct. Maybe on the beard here, I think I'm starting to lose some. Yeah, an easy way to do that is just on the very top here. I'm going to throw a hue saturation. I just pull the sat all the way down, and that should also, let's delete that. So then, like for example, there's almost literally no contrast between um, the dark color of his beard and the inner color of his hat. So to be honest, I could just get away with making that all the same color, you know. So his hat here, I can just brush and then just. There we go. It's looking all right. Maybe just for his beard, maybe just find a very small amount of like a brighter color to put right on the top. So let me pull that up. There we go. Let's try to get it to pop just a little bit. I think I'm kind of confusing some of the detail down there. Yeah, let me focus on fixing his mustache. Right now it is a mess. Again, I'm just trying to focus on these little clumps of hair and make the clusters look correct. Actually, I think I can. Yeah, let me just delete those. Let me just merge that down. So I'm liking the hair. I'm not going to change it back, but I think I need to fix the nose a little bit. Okay. Again, I'm just right now because I'm starting to noodle a little bit, just trying to find shapes that I like. I guess I'm getting into detail mode, which I'm not even sure if I should be jumping in detail mode right now, but it's so hard to not want to just start detailing stuff immediately. It takes like lots of self-discipline to step back and realize you still have big problems to solve. Yeah, that's a good point, Javier. So yeah, so the headband itself should also have some shadow bits too. Also so I've been focusing a lot on the face and the beard. Let me also focus on the hat and focus on the robe. Make sure those are also at a decent detail level. Okay, so okay, let me look at this. I want to let's make sure the robe feels like it kind of wraps around. So let me pull it up just a little bit. Got some stray pixels hanging out there. No, it's good. Like sometimes when I get like way too focused in on one part of the piece, and really I should just kind of pull my scope back and work on um, the larger things to solve in general. So I appreciate that little wake up call. And I think the band on the hat and the robe also have kind of the same palette, so I can just kind of maybe work on both at the same time because there's this highlight color. Almost, yeah, right there. And this highlight should kind of fall the same place all across the hat. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. And then maybe do something like this. Okay. Liking that all right-ish. Let me also add some highlights on the robe here. We should kind of, and then like the highlight, like how much highlight you give it and how tight it is kind of determines the type of material. So like with the way this is kind of this little quick little band makes it look more shiny. Or if you wanted it more matte, the highlight should maybe be way more wide, to make it feel less like less specular, if that makes sense. But then again, let me see. I'm just going to play around and see what I like. Really on this side, the shadow probably should be a bit higher. There's maybe a less chance of the actual highlight being shown on this side. Because in theory, if the light is coming from the upper left, that way, then this should be certainly darker over here on this side. So maybe I need to lean into that a little bit more. Again, because his beard is roughly the same color as this darkness. If I go back to the top and I flip on this with HueSat. His beard and the dark color of the robe are also the same value, so I don't really need to. I shouldn't really split hairs. I can make the beard kind of go further, and just it should work. Um, Here we go. Maybe even pull these even tighter in, just to again imply there's not as much light hitting on this side. Yeah, let's go out that way. Cool. Try to make it feel like it wraps around a little bit. Whatever. Let's take a look at the hat. The hat should also have some this should be a darker spot. So maybe select that color. Go with the brush. Uh-oh, who's here? Hey! Hi, little one.
You still working?
I'm still working, dear.
Okay. Sorry.
So I guess they're back from swim class. That's exciting. Okay, let's pick a selection here. And just do something like that. Yeah, he likes to barge in every now and then. Make sure I'm not slacking. He's a tough little boss. Yep, yep. Just like the BBC interview, a little bit, yeah. Got the sun right in my face. It's hard for me to see. There we go. Much better. Now I'm not blinded. Just I guess it just slowly happened over time. So I was becoming more and more blind as the stream went on. Okay, maybe real quick over here, just hints. I have a little bit of darkness over here too. Just kind of grab that there. Here. Maybe something like that. Just trying to work quickly. Okay. We do the sellout on this side real quick. Okay, have a little. Do I need purple there? Maybe just this darker brown I think works. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get into like splitting hairs, so I'll try not. I'll try to resist the urge. Just trying to get the large stuff solved. I think this is okay. Like I've been working on it for long enough now that I'm starting to lose like perspective. I think I goofed something up here on this Dilbert. Maybe not on the Dilbert logo. Maybe I didn't goof it. Maybe I just. Brush. Now I'm definitely not sure. Oh, because I was on the wrong layer. That makes sense. So then darker, lighter. There we go. Just trying to make sense of all this stuff up here. I think, oh man, I think what I forgot to do is I think this all needs to go up one. There we go. There we go. So I think I bumped that up to make more room for this stuff underneath here, and I forgot to move the chrome up. Because I just have so many layers now. Okay, let me real quick just Control A, Control Shift C. I'm copying everything and I'm just gonna paste it on top as a flat. Then maybe turn off everything and just work with a flat file for now. So just keep all these, just throw them in there. That way I can. They're not. I thought I got it. Why can I not put them in the group? So I can't put the background in the group because it's locked. If you just Alt double click, you can unlock the locked layer, and then I can put it in there and then hide it all the way. Good. Now I just have a flat image here I can work with. Let's hide some of this junk. I don't know if I need this. Let me just put it back up here. We can come back to it if we need it. I think we have all the colors that we're going to ever have right here. Something, I guess I kind of want to, I like this blue outline. I want to maybe throw it down here as well. Then similarly down here. I don't even know if it makes sense, but I kind of want to do it. So we just merge that down. We save. Oh, it looks like the Delver logo needs some love, so let me just do some quick AA on that. Okay. Actually, let me just work on a new layer, then merge it down once I'm done. Some of this AA probably needs to be a bit lighter. There we go. It just depends how I guess tight things are turning. Sorry, I'm just deep in thought on like my anti-aliasing now. If there are any questions, please ask. I am just. This is part of like when you're doing AA on a piece. It's interesting because it's not really creative work. It's just like this kind of Tedium is the wrong, well, I mean, it is tedious, but it's this kind of just, you can turn your brain off and just let the, um, because you're just kind of just like mechanically just doing this stuff almost. Again, I still want this to read well, so that's ultimately my goal. What you can do, you can also do like a window, arrange new window, and then what you can do is I can pop it out, and that's the actual pixel size. But what I'm going to ultimately end up doing is doubling it. So this is the actual size it's going to be on the Steam Workshop page. So I need to make sure that that resolution, the things are still working and looking right. So again, I think the black is just too dark. Let me merge that down. Let me select the black. Let me brighten it up just a touch. Okay. So let me try. Here you go. Let's save it. File. Save as ping. This is going to be character story pack example. Yep. So mod preview ping save. Yep. Okay. Let's get this thing uploaded because I've been fiddling with the pixels long enough. Let's get it uploaded and get it out there for folks to play with and see what it actually looks like on the workshop. So let's go to character story pack. I'm going to move this out into my pixel art. Pixel art. Actually, let me go Delver. Let me just paste it there for the time being. Okay, so now look at character story pack. I have my mod preview, my items, my data. I think that should be enough to submit. So let's go and yeah. So what you can do if you haven't tried submitting stuff yet, if you open up Steam, this will take a second, but I'll walk through the process of uploading a mod to the workshop and then managing it. Okay, so if you go to library, then you find Delver, right-click, properties, local files, browse. Unfortunately, the editor is not a binary, so you just have to double-click the delvedit.jar, and that will launch the editor, or it doesn't. Let me see what's going on here. This is good to know. Actually, what I can do, what's really crazy is you can click here, type CMD, and that will open up a command window at that location. So that's a little Windows trick. So if I go delvedit.jar, java-jar, I think is what I need to do, delvedit.jar. What's happening? Oh, do I have another? Okay. So I think I might have a hung version of Delver out there. Let me look for any Java processes. There's a couple of Java processes just hanging out here. Let me clean those up. Sometimes there's an OpenJDK. Okay, it looks like a no. So let me try that again. There we go. So it looks like I had a hung Delver process out there that was preventing me from launching the editor. Okay, so now if we go to mods, upload mod to the workshop, choose mod folder. So I want to go to, let's browse to my repositories. And then Delver example mods, and then character story pack. Use this folder. And my preview image. So we really should have it. I'm not sure where it's caching the that path there, but we really should assume that the preview image is probably going to be within the directory we just chose, and that'd be a nice little quality of life improvement. Mod preview, select. I'll call this Gray Wizard Character Story Pack, and create. Cool. So it says upload finished. Check the workshop in a few minutes. So I ought to be able to just go ahead and close out of this. Go to Steam, Community Workshop, and my files. And I should see, yeah, Delver Story Pack. Oh, I didn't actually. So I didn't actually. I was going to up-res it, and I forgot to. Actually, black would work okay because then it would blend in with this. So let's make those changes. Let's go back to here. And let's make that black. And then go image size, and then 200% nearest neighbor scaling. Okay. File, save as. We want to save it as a ping. We're saving as mod preview. Yep. Okay. And now, if you notice, there should be a modinfo.json. This lets Delve Edit know that you are updating your mod and not creating a new one. So if I go back to Delve Edit, and say mods, upload mod to workshop, and then I choose mod, and I go to my repo. Repositories, okay, character story pack. Let's use this folder, and it will auto-populate all this stuff because of the JSON file saves our stuff. So hit update, and it will resend the content. Cool, close. So now if we go back, hopefully that has fixed our. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So that's cool. So now we have this character story pack for the Gray Wizard. I'm just going to subscribe to it, watch it download, and make sure that everything comes through okay. So if I hit subscribe, you should see the download starting there in the bottom. It should actually be pretty quick because it's not very many files. And now I go to Library Delver, play. Erase and play. And if I hit K, uniques, yep, there we go. This is the content downloaded off of the workshop in game, which is pretty cool. Nice. Cool. So that seems to work out okay. And I think, yeah, thank you, Louis, for the kind words. I think it does look okay. Um, um, what I would suggest doing is, like on my gun pack, I have some animated GIFs to really kind of show off what the mod's about. That's probably a good idea to, I guess, get people interested. I think this should auto, maybe, because right now all I have is the um, my files. All I have is the character story pack. So what I can do is over here you can flip it to change visibility. I'll make it public, so people can actually see it and subscribe to it. NRIN says, do you know your chat is in 5 minutes followers only mode? I can only assume that that is a mistake. What do you mean? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I did that on purpose. Cool. So that should be good. Oh no. I don't know if you can hear that. But every so often there's this little bird that keeps trying to get into my office. Okay. And yep, so then I guess I just need to type in a description, which is probably pretty good. I also need to capture some more images. But I think I've been streaming 3 hours today, and I think I'll go ahead and call it a stream here because I would like to go hang out with my family. If you've been watching a few minutes ago, they surprised me. So what do we think? I think we had a productive stream. We at least got this up on the workshop. We got the cover image made for it, which is pretty cool. Like I said, this next update, update 14, should be coming out pretty shortly. I don't think there's any code changes we really need to make to it. So I will bug Chad just to make sure that that stuff happens. I want to thank everybody who financially supports me by buying Delver. That is greatly appreciated. I also want to thank everybody who pops into the chat to hang out with me while I work, and it's always motivating, and I look forward to every Sunday to talk about game dev and make Delver. So I think I'll leave it here, and I will see you folks next Sunday.